Scorpios, and welcome to my channel, The Guided Intuitive. Thank you so much for having me here today. You were the number one likes that I had last mid-September 15th through the 30th. So I wanted to work with you and make sure that you got your October 1st through 15th first. So thank you graciously so much for doing that. If you want some more information, go ahead and look at the description box and you'll get more information. But today I'm going to go ahead and read 4 cards. I'm actually using the Chakra Wisdom cards. And these are talking about just the different energies. And I thought it would be kind of cool to do this as we move into the fall, as the energies are changing, you know, just the outside environment is changing, and I just thought this would be really special for you. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to go ahead and talk about the past, now, the future, and then what the total outcome will be. So let's get started. Your first card, is Discovery. Discovery. Now this card is a red card, which means it's more talking about grounding for yourself. So it looks like, you know, in terms of the 7 chakras, it's the very first one in terms of the root chakra. But, you know, the root chakra shows us the kind of the way to help bring some of our dreams into reality. And so they denote a lot of beginnings, and they reveal how to create a solid foundation that can create, you know, some tangible results. So just keep in mind that if you're not yet creating what you say that you desire, you might need to grow this energetically, this root chakra just a bit deeper and wider for yourself. So, you know, one thing that I want to talk about here in terms of discovery is that these cards kind of represent kind of an undertaking that may guide you away from old ideas that no longer serve you. So it might be a beginning, I should probably say, of an undertaking that may guide you to something that no longer serves you. So I want to talk a little bit more on how that works in terms of, especially for this card in itself, because it seems a little bit different here than I'm finding, because it's like there's like this pink guy standing here with his heart, and he's looking to the moon, and you know, he's like saying like, what the heck? You know, his arms are open wide. And the moon is saying, like, here I am, you know, start discovering, you know, who you are within your heart, because the heart's outlined in here. And it says you'll probably get a lot more greater joy within that with, you know, with the flower coming through there. So it's probably telling you a little bit more about loving yourself. But it may talk about, I think what it's telling me right now, what I'm sensing is that the past that you may not, you know, have been maybe fully prepared, you know, to face the facts. So maybe being willing to, you know, to take a journey regardless of the outcome will really prove to be rewarding. And just, you know, only get ready just to carry a commitment through to completion. So in the past, you may not have been fully prepared to maybe face a lot of the facts, and it just really wants to focus on that you want to be willing to really take that journey regardless of what the outcome, because it will definitely prove to be quite rewarding for you. And so when it talks about discovery, let's go ahead and talk about what the card really means. It's like, it's almost like, you know, that you're more than you think you are. And I think that that's what this guy in the background is really trying to tell you is, hey Scorpio, you're a lot more than you think you are. Take a look and start to ponder, look at the moon and just relax, and with that heart inside yourself, start connecting to that and ask yourself, you know, am I really happy with the situation at hand? And this could be in a love situation, this could be a work situation perhaps, or just some situation that's just maybe not, you know, working out to its fullest. You know, you could have had someone you really cared about, and for, you know, some reason or another, it didn't work out. You know, that person left or whatever. And what it allowed you to do was, when that person left, is to reconnect with yourself, reconnect with the love for yourself, and expand the capacity to love. Because maybe the person you were with, you know, just was incapable of receiving love. So these are things that you have to remember, that, you know, don't, just try to recapture something from the past that is no longer fits, especially if you've been going with the in and, and that type of thing. It's asking you to leave this past behind and get ready for a new adventure, and are willing to venture into some uncharted territories for yourself, for the most part. And that don't settle for something that's far less than what you deserve. I think that's why kind of one of the key things, and and when you're aware of that, that is a part of healing, So really, the really focus on here is to really focus on uplifting yourself, and a commitment to yourself first, and then another. And just because you might not know the outcome on things, on how the journey works out the way it is, but it's just, saying that you need to tackle that new adventure with a willingness to go into this uncharted territory and discover these gems within yourself, so you attract more of the situation that's meant for you. And it's almost a good thing that you might want to do, I think that might help, is to imagine something that you're currently passionate about. Maybe it's a partner that you're passionate about, maybe it's a project, or maybe it's something in the career that you want to move up to, or escalate, or a business of your own. Just allow that feeling to really set inside you, and almost kind of pretend that you're making a journey to a mountain, and every single step that you're taking, the worries that you have are dropping away. Every single step, as you take a step and you climb the mountain, that the worries are dropping away from you. The what ifs, that I wish this would have happened that way. Don't focus on that. Focus on reaching the peak, and then when you get to the top, look at the sky, look at the stars, and just listen carefully. And that's what it's saying for you to do, to listen yourself carefully, look at the stars, and just see and understand what that message is trying to say. So let's go ahead and move into the now, and what that is. Boy, okay, so you've got the card insecurity. Now this is interesting because energetically speaking, that this is still in the root chakra, which is also a part of your foundation. So this also talks about still, kind of about it's almost as if like it's your greatest adversity is living inside of you. It's like in this picture, it kind of depicts that you've got that, you've got your heart that you want to listen to, and then you've got that little devil on the side saying, hey, you know what, you're not going to be able to complete that project, or you're not going to get that person that you love, that type of thing. But yet you're saying in your heart, I really want this person, I really think that there's something there, or I really would like to work on this project or get that promotion because it's in my heart, it's what I love to do, and this is what I'd like to do. But you've got this little devil on the side talking about the insecurity there. And what this is asking you to kind of how look within inside is that you're going to listen to your fear, and if you're not going to, then how can we tap into that courage for yourself? I think that's really, really key. So like I said, is if you do have, some sort of project, and let's say you finally finish it, and then that little demon in red comes about and says, hey, you know what, I'm still over here. Well, you finished the project, and it's something that, is definitely elates you. You're so thrilled about it. And you realize that you can distinguish between what is real, with that elation in your heart and what you love, rather than your imaginated fear of listening to the wrong voices within yourself. So know that those voices can't stop you from achieving or realizing your dreams. And this is just saying you need to listen to your heart and go for your dreams here, and go to that courage. Have some bravery, and get yourself free from that, and focus on the success that you want to reach, if it's in a relationship, or if it's in a career, or just within yourself. So some of the key ideas here is just be really courageous, face your adversity. Don't throw it underneath the rug, because it's going to come up in another shape or form. Through another situation or a similar situation. That's just how that's just how it works. So what we want to do is to focus on what you want to have happen and step into your power and find that bravery within yourself, And one thing to do might be a good thing to do is even to look up, guided meditations, on just focusing on confidence in yourself to help build that up even more so. And even on protection, so that when these voices come up, that's not you. You focus on your heart, you focus on your goal, on what you truly want to desire within that person, or whatever it may be, in terms of a connection. And know that you have the power if you move through those fears and acknowledge them and don't bury them. And it allows you to push through and move on to that next thing. And so let's just talk about that next thing, which comes into the future. Well, isn't this wonderful? Look at this, Scorpio. Abundance. Fabulous. Fabulous. This couldn't even be better. Now, this is a yellow card, which moves you up into the solar plexus. And this is the chakra, specifically just for that. And what is important about, kind of like the yellow cards within there is that, it's gold, so it's kind of focusing on the gold within you, but it's also intellectual. It's about, creative intellect, wisdom, your instinct, Scorpio, and then also, your imagination, your originality and innovation. So what this really talks about in the solar plexus is that it reveals your planning process. So you might have a logical or maybe a scattered approach to things. Think about which one you have, because they represent your thinking and problem solving. And what this yellow card kind of talks about before we actually get into what the picture is, that it really reveals your ability to resolve issues. It's like turning the light on so someone knows you're home, so they can come visit you and bring the joy to you. So it really relates to instinct and how life is directed by that. So that's something to kind of keep in mind. Now, the card itself, in terms of abundance, this one's really kind of talking about, it has a lot of gold coins at the bottom. I don't know if you see that there, but there's some gold coins at the bottom there. And it's just asking you that if I only seek to give what you ask for. And I know that Abraham and Jerry Hicks talk about ask and it is given. And in fact, I might use one of those cards for you today too at the end, because I think it's so appropriate. But it's about, windfall, it's about friendship, and it's about wisdom. And so it's really kind of a cool thing. And think about your relationship, with money. This is asking you, maybe perhaps because this is coming up here, just are you a wise girl or boy with this, or you're a full-hearted, person with this? Because money is naturally attracted towards appreciation and gratitude. And, abundance through gratitude, releasing regret, and just being good with money are just some key ideas that you want to focus on. You might want to ask yourself a few things just to kind of, be wary of using your financial situation as an excuse to avoid doing something. Oh, I can't do it because I don't have enough money. Oh, I can't do it because, I just don't have enough money. And there's so many things that you can do, even if you were to start out, in any sort of business. And let's say you wanted to do, some sort of, coaching business. You kind of work with your friends a little bit, that type of thing. You start planning out what it would look like. You talk to different coaches, and that you start doing your research and getting your blueprint down a little bit. So you want to make sure that your thoughts and your actions around money are empowering and not disempowering you. That's one of the key things. There's always a way to go after your talent. Musicians don't just play an instrument once and then say, darn it, I'm not going to be famous, so I don't want to continue this. It takes a long time for some practice. And that practice is the fruit of the journey. There, you always go back to that whole journey in that process, that is really the fruit of everything. And you can still do your craft no matter what, knowing that, that later on it's going to be fruit for your labors. And it just happens that way. So a cool thing to kind of remember is to maybe place some money before you and just pick it up, And have you ever thought about how many souls have touched it before, it kind of came to you? It's really just energy. So the value that we derive from money is just an exchange of energy, my friend. So just really imagine the money transforming into your desire and be aware of your improved relationship about money. It's all about exchanging energy. So much energy has touched it before, and lots of souls who wanted it and then got rid of it to move to something else. So just be aware of improving your relationship with money. I think that's one of the key things here. So I am going to pull an abundance, before I actually do that, I'm going to go to the next card to talk about the outcome, and then we'll go ahead and pull a quick card. Sorry about that. You need to know your outcome, Scorpio. Okay, that's what it's all about. Oh, wow, this is really cool. All right, this is faith. You can see that a little bit. Pretty darn cool. Pretty darn cool. And you know what's so neat about this is that this faith moves into the 6th chakra. It's like a purple card. So it's what it really talks about. And it's pretty amazing because when it talks about that, I think faith is that, it's kind of like when we're wounded, and then some of our wounds, and some wounds are recognized easily while others are not. And as we forge ahead, just don't allow that pain to hold you back. So this is basically say to have faith, discover yourself, go through that insecurity process and get more courageous about yourself and your dreams. Start planning for that abundance because it will come to you, and don't let, the lack of something hold you back. Have faith. Have faith, Scorpio. And it's just basically telling you that, that having this faith, that you're meant to inspire others. And if you do not carry on that way, it's going to suffer. So what this is saying is that it's really time for you to start delivering that message of faith to yourself. It's a really big key. There's miracles all around, and, make sure you follow wise counsel, and make sure that you accept your gifts and don't not accept them. Accept them and use your energy in a positive way, not in a self-defeating way, in a very positive, courageous way. So you, as a Scorpio, you just got a tremendous amount of personal magnetism. And I think you need to ask yourself, am I willing to let myself shine? Am I willing to let myself have the faith and shine? What frightens you is something so much smaller than you'll ever know. And if you are experiencing any sort of pain, Scorpio, holding on tighter is going to only worsen the situation, because your greatness awaits in letting that go. So acknowledge it for what it is. Say, hey, I acknowledge you, fear. I know that you're there, but I'm going to make another decision this time. I'm going to make my decision. So there's gifts in that. And, I think that's one of the key things. It's time to recognize your own gifts. Think guides around you for protection of not allowing you to give up, and focus on, this royal purple brick as part of your path. There's a lot of royal purple brick here as part of the spiritual journey, and it's telling you not to give up, and that this is the first step in communicating and sharing to the world what you really are. So keep in mind, miracles all around, and you need to have your faith and step into your power. So that's what it's asking for you, Scorpio. And I'm going to pull a quick little card from Ask It, and It Is Given. And this is by Esther and Jerry Hicks. And I want to pull this because it talks about faith and abundance, and this is so appropriate. I'm actually glad I had it here because I actually used it today for a quick affirmation. So I'm gonna shuffle these pretty quick here for you. I'm gonna let it know when it wants to tell me. I wanna shuffle them a little bit different, kind of let them just fall. Let's see what I got. And I want to pull this for the faith and see what this wants to tell us here. Okay, just a few more. And let's get what this wants.